This is activity 9.1, installing a new domain controller in a subdomain. The objective is to install a new domain controller in a subdomain. Go to File, New Virtual Machine, Typical, and Next. I have a disk, so it's ready to go. If you have an ISO, you would click here and browse for it. But since I have the disk, we're going to go for here. Click Next. This is where you could put in your Windows product key. Then in the next box down, this is where you change your version of which Windows to install. Then put in a name and server 02. Put a password in. Then you click Next. Yes, you want to continue. You can put your product key in later. And here you can change the name of your virtual machine. You can leave a location as is. Click Next. You'll want to set your maximum disk size. Store it in a single file. Next. And here, since we are in VMware, we need to set up two adapters. One to connect to the host computer and one to connect to the network. So we're going to customize our hardware. I'm going to change this adapter to host only. This is going to be the connection between the computers inside in the network. And then we're going to add a network adapter. Next. And this is going to be bridged. Click Close. Click Finish. Now let's power on this virtual machine. What will come up is your activation with your product key. We're going to leave it blank. Go Next. It'll ask you again if you want to enter your product key. Say no, and you could do that later. And then from here, it'll do all of its automatic installing. So I'll pause and we'll come back when it's finished. So now we've installed and we're ready to log in. And as administrator, have to change your password before logging on the first time. Put in your password, and now it's going to prepare and set us up. So the first initial configuration task window will come open. And this is to configure your server from the very start. We're going to go ahead and set the time zone. Since it's in time, just hit OK. And we're going to configure our networking. And as you see, we have two adapters. So this first is to our network. Properties. Click on IPv4. We're going to use particular address. The address we're going to use is 192.168.100.101. Subnet mask, that's a 24. The default gateway is going to be 192.168.100. Our DNS is going to be 192.168.100.201. Click OK. Close. So on the second connection, we really don't need to configure. It is set as default to obtain the IP address automatically, and we're going to leave it at that. Close this out. The next we're going to do is provide a computer name. We're going to change the computer name to server 101. Going to leave the work group alone. Just click OK. And you're going to have to restart after you change the computer name. Before we restart, make sure to check Do Not Show This at Login. And then go ahead and close and restart now. Now we're logged in. We have the server manager open. There's still a few things that we have to do. Let's go to Roles and add roles. So on this first page, before you begin, you can read what it says. We're going to click Next. Now on this one, we're going to check Active Directory Domain Services. Next. Hit Next. So install. Installation succeeded. So click this link. That'll close this wizard and launch the DC promo. We don't need to use advanced mode installation for this. Just click Next. Click Next. Now we're going to use an existing forest, but we're going to create a new domain in an existing forest. Click Next. The network credentials. You'll need to type in the name of the domain that you're going to be a subdomain of, which would be w2kad01.com. You'll need to put in your credentials, which has to be an enterprise admin, typically the built-in administrator for your domain. Click OK, and then click Next. Now you'll come to the name the new domain. So you'll need to put in the fully qualified domain name. The name of your domain. This is going to be the name of your subdomain or child domain. And this is going to be sub1. Next, and you'll use default first site name. Click Next. At this time, we're not going to install DNS. That will be in the later activity. So we're going to uncheck that. Hit Next. It'll give you a warning. Yes. And click Next. The default for the folders. We're going to put in a password. Restore mode administrator. Click Next. You can review your settings if you'd like. You can create an answer file using your export settings, which I will not get into. Click Next, and now it's going to install the services this needs. So we're going to pause and come back. Completed it. Now you will click Finish. Then it's going to restart your computer, and that is installing a new domain controller and a subdomain.